We're going live. If it works, I have to check it that it works because I did a whole one and it didn't work once. It's really good. It says we're live.
Are we?
The camera's right there. Karla, how are you doing today?
I'm well, and you?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you for live streaming with me today.
It's a pleasure.
Yes. And hello, shout out to anyone. Anyone you want to shout out that's watching?
Everybody, hello.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just going to make sure we're 100% live. It says we're live. Right now we have no viewers. Okay. So, Karla, today we're going to be talking about a wide variety of topics. Since there's no one watching, just look here most of the time and then sometimes we look at each other.
And when you're talking to me, where should I be looking?
At this, but like sometimes look, just do a balance. That's what I found works best. Okay, ready?
But yes.
Okay.
But why are we there?
Okay, and let me get rid of that because that's confusing. Well, let me just set it up.
Oh my God.
Let's do this. Okay, so Karla.
Yes.
Today we're going to be talking about a wide variety of topics with Karla, who I have here today. We're going to be talking about travel and learning languages. Karla, I know you'd like to travel. I've known that since I've known you. What got you into traveling? Why are you into that?
Well, I guess it started when I was little. Every summer, I went on vacation with my parents, somewhere in Mexico or in the States. And every chance we could, my dad would take us somewhere. And I think that comes from my grandpa, who like took road trips with my dad and my uncle and all our families.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where the travel bug comes for me.
The travel bug came from when you were a kid, like doing road trips with your...
Yes, not just road trips, like getting on a plane, going to the beach on the weekends, like going camping with my parents.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So is it fair to say you got it from your dad, who loved to travel?
Yes, for my family, yes, exactly.
Okay. When you were younger, during that time period when you and your parents would take you places, what's like a memorable trip that you took that you really enjoyed?
Well, it was always the beach, like going to the sand and playing and just, I don't know, I have so many good memories with my family, with my grandparents, with my parents' friends and their children. Like I made really good friends from there. Like I cannot pinpoint one. I have good ones and really bad ones. Okay,
tell me about a really good one and just tell me about a really bad one. Let's start with the bad one. Start with the really bad one.
Okay, well, this is not a bad one for me, but it's like in my memory. So we went to Mazatlan in Mexico and it was a beach. But then at night we would just like walk on the Malecon or which is the street right by the beach, like the main street, and it has like it's like the broad walk. That's what it's called.
Yeah, boardwalk. Okay.
So we would walk the broad walk, and I guess my brother was like 5 and I would be like 10 or 9. So we went to this. It was like a tiny little grocery store. It was like I don't know, like unos abarrotes, and we were buying little things to snack on. I guess my parents had 2 kids and we don't eat that much. So they were buying us snacks and I just see my brother like walking, holding my mom's hand. And I guess he wanted a Coke, but we weren't allowed to drink Coke at night. So he just grabs, in Mexico, we have glass bottles that you return and they give you back your deposit for.
Okay.
So this is back in early 90s.
Yeah.
So he just grabs one that it's right at the exit of the store. Yeah. And it has a cockroach in it.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So that's it. Like it was in Mazatlan. I don't know. That could have happened anywhere, but it happened in Mazatlan.
Mazatlan. And where is that? Just like whereabouts?
So it's in. So if you see Mexico is like this. It's in the northeast by California.
By California?
So it's in Sinaloa, Mazatlan, Sinaloa.
Sinaloa?
So it's the Pacific.
Yeah.
Right under the arm of Mexico.
Okay. So, when you said Sinaloa, I thought of the cartel.
That's what every American thinks. But no, it's more than just cartels.
Okay. And just a description of that area, like, so it's a beach town, right? A boardwalk.
Mazatlan, yes.
Kind of like a small beach town.
Yes.
And just to clarify, the cockroach was inside of the Coke?
It was an empty bottle.
Oh, okay. So he was picking it up for.
It was already his mouth. He was like this. So yeah, that was a fun story for me.
And how did he react?
He didn't even know he was 5. So my mom was like panicking and just snatched it as he said.
Okay. That was a bad time?
So, well, that's like back then. I have a lot of more good times and bad times. I remember one time in Italy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I was a grown woman already.
Yeah.
I spent a whole week by myself. So I went to Venice and I have a backpack because I found it more practical to have a backpack, but I'm a woman and I carry a lot of stuff. And so I get to Venice and I'm trying to get to my hostel and I had to take a boat and like I'm lost. My phone is not working. So I'm carrying my huge backpack. I think I don't remember how much it weighed, but so I'm walking and someone directs me that is in the same island. So they direct me that way. So I go that way and I'm like, this doesn't look right. So I asked someone in a restaurant, they're like, no, you're going the wrong way. Go back, take this. It's like a boat.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the bus. Venezia is.
So Venice has like a boat system, like instead of a bus system?
Yes, because they're islands.
Okay.
So in the water, they take you from island to island.
Okay.
In a boat. So I finally take the boat and I'm like, I'm dying because my backpack is so heavy. But it was worth it. It was so worth it. I get to the hostel. Oh, and on my way to the hostel, I walk through a wedding from someone from Real Madrid. I don't know, like soccer or something like that.
Oh, like a soccer player? A famous soccer player?
Yeah, he was getting married and I just walked through it. It was fun.
Very cool. Okay, I want to ask you more about that boat. So that's like a bus boat. Is it set up like a bus? Like, do you stand up?
It has seats on the sides. You can stand, you can sit.
Yeah.
You can actually, there's a space on the outside of the boat.
To stand outside? Okay. Very cool. And okay, so you walk through that, to the wedding.
Yeah. There was like very pretty people dressed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just walking and I saw a wedding and then there was like a lot of people just watching the wedding. I just like tapped on someone's shoulder and I was like, what's happening? They're like, oh, it's so-and-so's wedding. And I was like, hey, who's that? And they're like, Del Real Madrid. Like, what? Like, I should have known this or something. But
yeah. So it's like some famous person. You're like, I don't know who that is. That's awesome. Very cool. And what other good stories do you have from traveling? Another good fun time.
Well, I have many. I worked with elephants in Thailand.
Okay.
I had a bunch of good stories teaching in Cambodia.
Okay.
In Peru, like helping with the school. I don't know.
Okay.
I have too many to choose one.
Too many. Let's go with the elephant story.
Oh,
what was that like?
Well, so I guess that was my first trip alone.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't going to go alone because it was a volunteering trip. So I was going to meet someone like over there with what I found out, it was like, you need to do the research because it was a volunteering trip, but the way they were promoting, it tricked me a little. So I get there and it was kind of like a tourist attraction. It wasn't really like a volunteering thing, but they did had different projects. So they had, so it was working with elephants and it was feeding them, taking them for walks. So I get there and they give us this talk about how it might be a cultural shock to work with elephants because they have a mahout and the mahout is kind of like their trainer. They take care of them. So they, elephants are like massive animals that like can destroy villages, like literally. So they explain us how in 1984, elephants they changed the law. The Queen of Thailand in 1984 decided that elephants were not going to be work animals anymore.
Okay.
So all the families that own elephants, and they had this tradition where, like, if, for example, you, Joseph, have 2 daughters or 2 children, you have to have an elephant for each children.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, that's how it works.
Yeah.
So imagine that you already have 2 elephants that you're gonna give your children so they can live from the elephant's work.
Yeah.
And now they can use the elephant to work. So they created this village, which is like a sanctuary, like a refuge for elephants. So now they make poop paper.
Poop paper.
Yes. So.
Oh, okay.
Elephants only eat bamboo.
Okay.
So that means that when they poop, they use, there's just a whole process, kind of like recycling, but with poop. So that's what some of the volunteers did. And then when we were staying at that village, we were staying at this person's house, and then this huge parade of elephants arrived to that house.
Yeah.
And it was our time to work with the elephants. So we fed them the bamboo that we cut. Yeah. And then we just parade them. We take them from that house all the way to the river. And I just found it like really strange. Like when they were telling us this might be a culture shock, I didn't know how much it was
like just ridiculous.
Yes. So the cord, like the leash that I was holding my elephant, and it wasn't that big because there were bigger elephants. It was like maybe 10 feet tall, maybe, I don't know. And then so that leash was mecate. How do you say that?
Mecate?
Yes, I don't know how to say mecate in English, but it's like
machete.
No. That's a type of knife, like huge. So anyways, the point is that like I was holding him from a leash that was super like flimsy, and like he was thinner than my pinky. Yeah. So I was like, how can I hold this humongous beast with just this? But there was a mahout, the trainer, on top of him with this huge hook, because elephants' skin is super thick. So I was just walking in the sun with this beast, like just holding them from like a little string. Yeah. And I was like, this is not okay. Like, what is happening? Like, how can this animal not know that he can just run away or step on me? Or I don't know. It was weird. Yeah. So we get to the river so they can take a bath. And I didn't even notice that I was like just standing there. I was like, do I have to get in the river? And then I just see like this huge poop. And then another one, like big balls.
That's funny.
And then the funny part was that my brother told me this before I left. I don't see you cleaning after an elephant. Yeah. And then so I'm standing there, like the water is halfway through my knee. And then I just look at the girl that was like the manager of the volunteers. And I was like, do I really have to get in? She's like, you don't have to, you don't want to. Yeah. It's like, okay, I don't. Yeah. So that night I talked to her and I was like, I really don't want to, like, I don't feel comfortable with like whatever this is. Because I figure out like, I love animals. I know I eat them, but it's like, I don't want to, because they're tied up from one foot. And I started learning about them there. Like when they do this, have you seen ever an elephant doing this?
No, I've never have.
It's a stress
they're stressed
sign. Because they're tied up. They cannot move. They're like, it's a type of slavery. Okay. In an animal. So I was in shock. So I asked them to switch me to the teaching program, and they switched me to the teaching program. So I started teaching in Thailand too.
You started teaching English?
Yes.
Is that how you got into teaching?
No.
Okay.
No, I've been teaching for a while now.
Okay. That's cool. How did you end up in that situation where you were taking care of elephants? That seems like an interesting situation.
So I was so it was a trip that we were going to Thailand and Cambodia. and I was going to go and teach English. So, but there was two type of projects, one in Thailand and in Cambodia.
Mm-hmm.
So Cambodia had elephants and teaching, and no, Thailand had elephants and teaching.
Yeah.
And Cambodia had a water project and teaching. And the water project was going to like very rural areas and installing the water, like
the well.
No,
well?
Kind of something like that, but it was like pipes and all this.
Like
so
a pump?
Yes, so they could get water.
Okay.
But I already had signed up for teaching in Cambodia, so just in Thailand I switched because I did not like the system with the elephants. Yes.
You're just like over the elephants?
Yes.
What did you learn from that experience?
To do more research on because I went with where it said it was a nonprofit, but I ended up finding out that it wasn't a nonprofit. It was just like a trip agency or trip company.
Yeah.
So they do help, but it is not nonprofit. So they have it like all over the world.
Yeah.
And they have different type of projects depending on the needs of that country or town or the specific area that you go.
Okay.
But it was really cool because what they did, it was, so you would volunteer and help out the community. And then they would take you like 1 or 2 days or on your breaks to like do touristy stuff. I went to temples. I went to the market. It was very, very cool because I went to, it was a parade. So the house, oh my God, I can keep going and going about my trips.
I love it.
So there was the house that we stayed, the next door neighbor had a huge party. Yeah. This party lasted, I don't know, like 4 straight days, like music nonstop, like the speakers as big as me. Like it was nonstop. And it was because the son of that family had become a monk or was about to become a monk. I don't remember the process of the monks, but
yeah.
And then at the end of that, oh my God, when the music started, I was like, what's happening? Like, where's the silence coming from? But at the end of that, they had like a parade with the elephants. And that was like beautiful because these were like male elephants with like huge tusks. Okay. And they were like all dressed up, and then the monk was on top. And it was funny because you would see them in like full gear. Well, not gear, but like
the monk.
Yes, like the monk, the elephant ttoo. Like they had a hat, and then you know how they have like ornaments for their trunks. It was beautiful, and then they have this really everything was really, really colorful. But then in Mexico, we have this tradition that is very similar. So they throw little flowers with coins in it. They're right there.
Oh, you have them right here?
Yes, those are it. So this, you see it? It has a coin. Yeah. It has a coin right here. Yeah. You can open it. I don't know if I want to open it though.
You don't have to open it if you want to.
So it has like, but then it was like really cool. So and then they throw it from the elephant. So you're like all over the place trying to pick them up because it's money. So
so they just throw money off the elephant.
Yes, it's like in Mexico we have
that's so cool.
When someone gets baptized in the Catholic Church. Yeah. The godfather has like money and he just throws it to the kids, so the kids are like all over the place. Yeah. So he reminded me of it.
It's kind of
this is more pretty.
It's more pretty.
Yeah, it's
that's
prettier.
Cool. And the coins in here, these are Thailand coins. What are those? Do you know what they're called?
No, I don't remember.
Where in Thailand were you?
It was I cannot even pronounce it. It's not like the way, like the language in Thailand. It's completely different. Yeah. But it was the elephant sanctuary.
Elephant sanctuary in Thailand.
The elephant village. And
elephant village.
I went to Bangkok. I stayed there. Like I stayed in Bangkok, like 1 block away from where they filmed.
The Hangover.
Yes, that one. Oh my God, that street was extremely loud. And they had, I didn't know, well, I guess I heard it in movies, but have you heard about the ping pong show?
I don't want to hear it. I keep it PG. I think.
Okay. So you have heard of it. Anyways,
yeah.
So they have that apparently.
Viewer discretion is the best.
Yeah, because it's really close to Vietnam, so I guess it was very popular back then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And so you went there, and that sounds like that was a lot of fun.
Every single trip has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Exhausting, but a lot of fun. Yes.
Yeah. Why should people travel? What if someone's like, I don't ever want to leave my town?
Oh my God.
Why should they travel?
So I cannot say I hate that they think like that, because everybody's entitled to their opinion, obviously. But so the thing is that for me personally, and I've seen it in other people, it opens your mind to know when. And I don't remember who said this. I think it was Einstein.
Yeah.
But it's like your mind is like a rubber. So once it's stretched, it doesn't go back to where it was.
Okay.
So for me, it's really important to have an open mind, because we're so like, this world is so diverse, and you learn so much, and you learn to not judge what's different, because just because you don't know it doesn't mean that it is bad or gross, or because you grew up with all these values and then you go somewhere else and they don't let you sit in the it's just weird. It's very different. Like, so in Thailand, for example, we were going to the bamboo, and they were in this really weird pickup truck, and I was about to sit. So the truck bed had like this, there was like another tiny little bed on top of the driver's seat.
Okay. A bed?
Like it wasn't a bed. It's like a truck bed, but it's like, it's a space to put more products, something. So I was going to sit there. They were like, no. And I was like, why not? Because the driver was a male and I'm a woman. Yeah. I cannot sit there. Yeah. Because I was going to put my bottom
legs
on top of his head.
Yeah.
And my bottom, a woman's, when I said that's unthinkable. Like, why would, like, no. Like, I don't know. So it was something,
but they were separated by the truck bed and the like metal. But to them, it's like they can't be there.
No,
you can't be there.
I couldn't understand that. I still don't quite. It's kind of like, but there's their traditions.
Where was that at?
Thailand.
In Thailand. Okay. What? Okay. So I kind of have. You want to say? Was there something else you were going to say?
No.
Okay. What's a rule? I don't want to say weird. I'm not judging, but like, what's a rule that was just really shocking to you that you learned? Not necessarily that, but just something like a cultural norm that was just really shocking to you.
Well, the thing is that, like, I guess it shouldn't be shocking because it's known internationally, but Cuba, oh my God. Yeah. It was hard for me to see a grown man being scared of, I don't know. It's like, I can tell you another anecdote of Cuba. So Cuba was one of the countries that I did not make, like, I didn't research it at all. And it was like a mistake because it was like the biggest culture shock I have ever had. Yeah. So my friend, one of the friends that I went with, she bought, have you seen those packs at H-E-B or any grocery store where they have like 10 packs of gum? It's like juicy fruit and like winter fresh. It's like tiny little packets with like 5 gum. I don't know. Yeah. She bought like 2 or 3 of those and because she did her research, right? And I had friends that had told me you can exchange things. You can exchange perfumes for like trade with them. Gum.
So they barter. You could be like, I'll give you that glass of water for half a can of
yes. Okay. So so we get there and then they have this really beautiful antique cars. They call it almendron. So we were walking because everything was expensive and I made another mistake there. So I changed my dollars to pesos because we flew from Mexico. Yeah. And then the pesos to cus, which is the currency for tourists because there's
CU.
Okay. I don't remember what it stands for. Yeah. But so we were like, I was counting my pennies. Yeah. Because then after that, I was going to Thailand. Yeah. So this taxi driver in an almendron, this beautiful old car, like from the 50s.
Yeah.
Drives by and they're like, we'll charge you $3, one per person, because it was 3 of us. And I was like, let's go. Everybody was charging like 20 or 25 for like a very short distance. And so we go, and then we stopped at a restaurant for a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And there you have to pay for their drink, and they have to sit with you. If they're not sitting with a tourist, they are not allowed to sit at all at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And so I guess the driver had a gum that he was chewing or whatever. So he grabs it and puts it on top of his cup, and it was a plastic cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then leaves it on the table, and we're like talking, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. We eat, whatever. It's time to go. And one of my friends, I don't know why, she grabbed the cup and put it on top of the cup with the gum.
Yeah.
And the gum gets like stuck in between 2 cups.
Yeah.
So for you, it's like, it's going to the trash, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's like, no, my gum. And he's like, oh my gosh, my gum. And I was like, stop, like, dude, chill out. But this is in my head, right? Like, just like you were thinking, like, what? Just use gum. And then I was like, Beto, you have more gum. We'll give you some. And Beto pulls up this like tiny little packet of 5 juicy fruit, like the yellow ones, mm-hmm. and gives it to him. And mm-hmm. he's like, oh, like the one in the TV.
Wow. And
he like grabs someone else, another Cuban, and he's like, look, like the one on TV.
Yeah.
This is a 40-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
Excited about gum like a child. I was like,
wow.
For me, because I said it like, oh my God, just chill. Like we have more. Like I literally said it like that, but in Spanish.
Yeah.
And then I felt like it broke my heart. And that was not just it. We were at a club, I think. Mm-hmm. And there was like mainly tourists. And then there was like a couple of Cuban girls and a boy with them, and the bartender was like hiding them. And they're like, okay, we're leaving. And they left. They had to leave the bar. Yeah. So that to me was like, I don't know. And then
they don't treat the people who live there well.
Yeah. So I guess going back to your question.
Yeah.
The thing that it's the most shocking to me is communism or whatever they're living, because if you talk to them, they're like first world people. Mm-hmm. In a third world country. Wow. Because the houses, they have houses like in Kings William.
Yeah.
The district here in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, but they're like falling apart, like full of mold, and
they can't fix them.
They don't have money. How are they going to fix them? And there's like 5 families living in that house. So
when you say first world and a third world, it's like they're educated, like they sound like smart. They're smart.
Because I think that's what Fidel did. Like I said, I haven't done my research.
Fidel Castro, yeah.
Yes. So they have first world medicine, first world education. Like everybody must go to school, mm-hmm. and everybody's well educated. Yeah. So imagine, I think sometimes ignorance can be a blessing, because imagine, so one of the taxi drivers, mm-hmm. he was a doctor, and he traveled the world being a doctor, mm-hmm. but he stopped being a doctor because he was making more money as a taxi driver
in Cuba.
So he was my dad's age, and my dad is a doctor, and my dad is retired, and he has benefits, and he's like living his life like, I don't know, but it was like really hard. That's the most shocking thing I've lived in a trip.
And just want to clarify, when you were at the restaurant, who couldn't sit down unless they were sitting down with tourists? The people who live there? But why would they sit down with tourists?
That's the thing. Like they can't. Like,
so they can't?
No.
Oh, the only reason they could if they brought tourists to the city.
Yes.
And they could
to give them like business.
Do you know what would happen if they did?
Yeah, they can they can go to jail.
They go to jail
if
for
they
that?
Just walk in into Yeah, you can do. I think one day years ago I heard like a voice note.
Yeah.
No, a recording of Cuban calling like store.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Can I go?" And they're like, "No, sir. Like you're Cuban. Like this is a Cuban telling a Cuban, you can't." They're like, but I'm a Cuban. Like I live here. Like, what do you mean I cannot come?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this is for only tourists. Like it's just it's
crazy.
sad. Yes.
Yeah, that is sad.
So I'm sorry. It expands your mind.
It expands your mind. You kind of see things are different. Okay, so we actually have some comments here. So I want to shout out to Carlos. Say hi to Carlos.
Hi, Carlitos.
Alberto, you know who that is? I don't know who that is.
Yes, it's my cousin.
Okay. Hola,
Hi,
Alberto. And Roberto. Alberto and Roberto.
My two cousins.
And then I don't know what they're saying. They're talking. Okay. And then my sister has a question. This is my sister, Larissa Warren. If you don't mind answering, what has been your favorite place to travel so far, if you can choose one?
Oh my God, I love traveling, but so I could say my favorite place would be La Riviera Maya in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's close to Cancun, not Cancun. Cancun has like amazing beach.
Yeah.
But it's so full of tourists and it's so like popular and it's not. I'm sorry for saying this, but it's Americans and it's like spring breakers and it's horrible. I'm sorry. So if you fly to Cancun and then go to the Riviera Maya, it has so many amazing places.
Yeah.
That would be my first one. And my second one would be Venice.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen who is it? Van Gogh or I don't know who painted like.
Van Gogh?
It was Van Gogh, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It was like Venice, like the sunset in Venice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was amazing. Like I saw it and I was like, so this is gonna sound very cliche, but this is what cliches and like paintings are made of. Like it was like amazing. I was just sitting there. So I was staying in an island.
Mm-hmm.
Venice was here and I was staying in another island. I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
So I just sat down on it's kind of like a sidewalk.
Yeah.
But literally my feet were hanging like and the water was there.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see like the San Pedro Plaza and then the tower and like all the skyline. It was just so amazing. It was beautiful. And I had a Bellini. Yeah, it's a drink. It was peach. And then since it was like so close to my hostel, the next morning I went and I had some, was it apricot? I don't know, but it was a croissant filled with something delicious. And I was just sitting there like just having breakfast. Yes, it was awesome. Amazing. So Venice and La Riviera Maya. Okay,
the place, the Maya.
Okay, Giuseppe, let's try it again. Riviera Maya.
Riviera Maya.
There you go.
Riviera Maya.
Yes.
So the Mayan River?
No, Riviera. It's like You sure? Because in France, there's like Riviera Francesa.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's just like an area.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the sea and I need to research that word now that you're saying it. But it's not a river.
It's not a river. Okay. And then we have Terando Linea says we need more people like her. I don't know who that is. And then any shout outs you want to make? Final question from my sister. Be sure to drop questions if you have any for Karla.
Okay, I have an answer for your sister.
So she's asking, have you ever been anywhere in Eastern Europe?
Eastern Europe. Okay, where's...
Eastern Europe is like Russia. Mother Russia.
No, I haven't. I would love to go to... I don't know. Russia is not calling me. It's too cold for me. And I think my mother ingrained that, like, not go to the cold areas.
Don't go to the cold.
I don't know. She's scared of cold. So I have been, I think the farthest would be Amsterdam.
Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah. But so you can travel, but there's tricks. So
we're talking about ways to travel as an American in the current times, which is December 2020?
Yeah. So I was talking because I have another friend that she loves to travel too. Yeah. So she was like, let's go. And I was like, okay, look for Mexico City. And she's like, no, let's look because in Texas, the cheapest places that you can travel from is Dallas and Houston. Mm-hmm. So you always think of like big airports. It's always cheaper because you don't have to make a connection. For example, if I want to travel to Europe from here, I'm going to have to stop in Atlanta or Dallas or Houston or like New York, for example. I think from New York, I don't know. Yeah. The point is that like Americans can travel because that's what I did. when I went to Cuba.
Oh, really? You were traveling during that time?
No, but it was like far. Like when was it? I think it was 2016.
Okay.
That I went to Cuba.
Yeah.
So what I did. This is like exhausting. So take your time. So I drove from here to Monterrey.
Yeah.
Which is 5 hours from here. And then from Monterrey to Cuba, the flight was extremely cheap. It was like $150 round trip.
Wow.
So you also have to look for exact dates. So if you're an American and you want to travel, just go to your neighbor. Oh, you cannot
go to Canada.
We cannot go to Canada. Like Americans are banned from Canada.
We're banned from Canada?
We're banned from everywhere. So
yeah.
I think I didn't finish my story. So my friend wanted to travel and she's like, I was like, look for Mexico City. And she's like, no, let's travel from here, from like Dallas or Houston. And I was like, okay, let me look.
Yeah.
So I went and we're trying to travel right now. Not right now, like a month ago. And I started looking for tickets. And they don't let you go anywhere. Like America's, yes. I looked to Amsterdam, I looked to Greece, I looked everywhere. And then I went to look, leaving from Mexico City. I can go, you can go anywhere from Mexico City, but not from the United States.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. And I think, well, I'm not going to talk about it, but I think I have an idea why.
Why? Because of
COVID and the way COVID has been managed.
Yeah.
Okay. When was the next question?
Excuse me. No.
I'm sorry, I'm taking over.
We have a question here, which I don't even understand. My sister says, Larissa says she wants to go to Romania. And then we have Carlos here, Talamas, saying, can you read this question? You know what that says? I don't know.
¿Qué es lo más raro que comiste? Oh, what's the strangest thing? Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's the strangest thing I have eaten in a trip?
What's the strangest thing you've eaten on a trip? That's a great question.
Scorpio.
Scorpions?
Yes.
I've eaten that too. That's weird.
Yes. Scorpions, crickets in Mexico, in Oaxaca.
Yeah.
But the scorpion in Thailand, oh my God, it tastes like nothing. It's just a shell. It's like eating.
It's like salty, right?
Well, because they put salt, but it tastes like it doesn't have meat.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
So the weirdest thing, scorpions.
Yes. I think like one of the weirdest things, I don't like to, I don't drink, but I don't drink in trips. So in Thailand, we're in what's the name of that street? The street that the Hungover was filmed. Oh my God, I never remember names. I remember experiences. I remember little things, but never names. I don't know why.
No, that's all good. It's the street where the Hangover was.
Yes, there you go. Where they were partying and they lost a friend again.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Everybody saw it already.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that place we went to a bar and then they had balloons with that, I don't know, is it the dentist? I never had that gas, but it was like
laughing gas?
Yes.
Yeah, nitrous.
So I buy this balloon with it. And I was like, this is doing nothing. And I couldn't stop laughing.
They sell that in Thailand?
Yes, for like $5.
Wow.
Yes.
Just be careful. Cool. Moderation with that.
It was just one. It's okay.
No, that's crazy. I mean, it's just so crazy how every country has a different laws, like its own different entity.
Yes, it is.
It's kind of like a different.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess what we would consider the normal would be Europe, I guess.
Europe
because
normal.
we're conquered by them, so we're doing everything as they did, but slower because we're younger than them. I don't know.
Yeah, we're younger. Still got some life in us.
As a country. Not as a human.
So this is shout out to who's that? La Paz, Baja.
La Paz, Baja California Sur. It's because my cousins are from there.
Okay.
So La Paz, Baja California is amazing also because one of my cousins works. I think it's I don't know. They're buzos.
Buzos.
They dive. Why am I forgetting my English right now?
You're forgetting your English?
Divers. They're divers. You're divers. I know. I know this. So, and then he has a boat, and then he would take you to see the whale shark, but tiburón ballena.
I don't know what that means. This is now bilingual.
Well, we're doing it bilingual because Obviously, we have a Spanish speaker audience.
Hola, muchachos. No, we do.
So just tell them the words that you know in Spanish, please.
Hola. Órale. Órale, Holmes.
Órale, Holmes.
Mi llamo es Joseph.
Dive instructor, see?
Dive instructor. Yeah, this guy, Alberto's helping too. Riviera means coastline.
Yes, Riviera means coastline. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Thank you, Betito.
Well, shark swimming. That's awesome.
Well, shark swimming. Yes. So it's like this huge this huge shark.
Yeah.
But it's a whale. It's not actually a shark. It's not going to eat you.
Yeah.
So you can swim with them. And they're beautiful. I think they're brown with like white spots. Are beautiful.
And you were diving or just swimming?
No, I never done that.
Oh, you didn't swim.
But I've seen them.
Okay. And how would you, a few more questions on traveling. If someone wants to start traveling, how would you recommend to get started? Like what would you recommend that they do?
Well, first start researching.
Yeah.
Because I think I do research and So what I do all the time is like I look for a cheap ticket. I always usually travel on Tuesdays because I don't know, for some reason Tuesdays are cheaper to travel.
So Tuesday's the cheapest day.
Yes. And and then look for the low season. Mm-hmm. But sometimes the low season means like, for example, I went to Turkey and I went in the low season, but it was freezing over there.
Yeah.
So, and then they lost my suitcase. So that can happen to anyone. Just get insurance and that you'll be okay. Mm-hmm. So start researching where you want to go. Mm-hmm. I would recommend to learn a couple words if it's another language, but I never do. And I survived. I do Pinterest sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like I just look, for example, I'm going to go to, this is in the States because we cannot travel. I cannot travel. I'm not traveling abroad. But so I'm going to Fort Lauderdale because it was really cheap. Yeah. So I'm just looking like cool places in Fort Lauderdale. And I went to Pinterest and I'm like, I sometimes read the whole thing and sometimes, this looks cool. And I save it in a board and that's it. Or something, you can just go to Google. Google will tell you everything. Yeah. And there's a lot of travel blogs. So go into it and read it. Do you have a favorite travel blog or just a top travel blog that you love? No, that's the thing. I don't have favorites. I just like go in and find it. Yeah. It's like you just search it, you like Google it and look at blogs. I use Pinterest. Or Instagram. Oh my God. Yeah. Instagram is also super cool because one time I was in Mexico City and I went to like the main attractions, like what's her name? Frida Kahlo's museum, the Somaya Museum, and then just like the Zócalo, like main things that everybody is like very common everywhere, right? Frida Kahlo is super popular, so I went there. And then I wanted to go out to like a bar or something really cool. And I asked a friend and she mentioned like 3 options. And I went to look at them, like the Instagram or the website, and I didn't like them. So I was like on Instagram for like 30 minutes. And then I found this really cool. It looked really cool on Instagram. And so I was like, I told my friend Vanessa, I was like, Vanessa, well, I found this. What do you think? Yeah. She's like, yeah, let's go. And it was in Polanco, which is like a very fresa, fancy area. Not fancy, it's just like cool. Like bougie or hip? A little bit trendy or hip? All of the above. Okay. So we went there and we couldn't find it. So we asked a dude. So that's another tip. When traveling, just ask. Sometimes you're gonna get someone really rude. Sometimes you're gonna get lucky and someone is gonna literally walk you out to the thing. So we asked this guy that is walking by and we're like, excuse me, do you know where this bar is? And they're like, yes, come, I'll take you. Yeah. And we're like, he's gonna kidnap us or something. Yeah. But it was like, there was no way. So he took us in there like, do you see that restaurant over there? Just ask the hostess and she will take you to the bar. And we're like, what? So we walk to the hostess and she's like, oh, okay, yes, come with me. So she starts taking us and we're going towards the kitchen. And I was like, this does not look like I think we're getting kidnapped. They're going to get killed. So there's this guy in a suit right outside the freezer's door. Yeah. And they're like, how many? 2. Do you have a reservation? No. Okay, hold on. And then he has like the thing, and
all fancy.
so it's a bougie place. So, and then this girl comes out and she's like, she asks us the same questions, and they're like, okay, I have a tow table. Are you okay with a tow table? It's right next to the DJ. And we're like, yeah, you're gonna take us in the freezer? Yeah. And then so she opens the door of the freezer, and then there's stairs, and like the bar was extremely cool. And they were wearing aprons, like the ones that you were making fun of, the hostel.
Like the hostels.
Yeah. So, but it was like the drinks were delicious.
Yeah.
So that one I found on Instagram. So I just like.
And what country was that in again?
Mexico City.
That was in Mexico City?
Yeah.
So you can find like really.
Just go to social media, yes. And then
yeah.
Tab cool bars, or you know how people goes crazy on hashtags, and that's why if you have a social media account, you need to be really smart with your hashtags, because that's how I found things.
That's how you find them?
With
like
hashtags. Businesses
sending hashtags out like secret.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was it cold? When you said it was cool in there, it wasn't literally cold like a freezer, right?
No.
Okay, wasn't
it? It wasn't cold.
Okay,
it was good temperature.
It was good temperature.
But it was really like, no, it was like, how do you say groovy, I guess?
It was groovy? It was groovy, man. It was like the vibe was cool, I guess. That's how they say it now. I don't know.
You still
I don't
say
even know
cool.
what people say. Yeah, it's cool because I'm a boomer.
Okay.
I'm technically a boomer.
You have the soul of a boomer.
Sure.
Yes, you do.
I want to ask you one more question on this. When it comes to different cultures, like what's the nicest culture you've ever experienced in the world? And what's the meanest culture you've ever experienced?
Meanest? Oh my gosh, I don't know. Because I guess Cubans are like, not all of them. That's the thing is like, this goes with everything. Music, books, careers, everything. Like, especially like cultures, you cannot, like there's a stereotype for everything, but you cannot assume that everybody's going to be the coolest.
Yeah.
Or everybody's going to be, because I believe Mexican culture is like super warm, and like they cater, and like they're nice, and we hug, we kiss when we say hello. And I found that really, so I'm a Texan, but I grew up in Mexico. So when I first met like Americans, like I went to kiss them on the cheek, and they were like, what are you doing?
They called HR. They're like, excuse me.
No, it wasn't in a work setting. Don't worry. No, it was like in a dinner, in a graduation dinner for a friend. And I was just kissing everybody, and they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it's like, they say the Chinese culture is like, they're very mean, and they're just different.
I think Chinese people are very nice.
Well,
I don't know about the culture.
I think it depends, because in Cuba, there was like this bartender. He was older, and he was like mean to the Cubans, but he was nice to us. So it's like, like what's happening? So I cannot tell you this is the nicest culture and this is the nicest.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to say. Okay, understood. And the bartender, was he in league with Fidel?
No,
was he in league with the communists?
So he couldn't be my dad.
Yeah.
I cannot say how old he was, but he was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Over 60 maybe. I don't know. But imagine growing up, or like maybe he saw how it was before Fidel. So, and then he had a nice secure job.
Yeah.
Not just every Cuban can do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, my mother taught me this, like to see, to like take a step back and analyze the situation, or try to like see the point of view of that person.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can try to understand, because I've learned through traveling and age, I guess, that you can never actually know the circumstances or whatever they're going through or whatever they live. So I cannot judge him, because I think he's like, that's what he learned. That's how he grew. That's his environment.
It's almost first instinct. And I know for me, it is kind of like to be like, oh, he's like He's one of the communists.
He's rude. Yes.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing. It's not just you. That's your culture. That's what you're surrounded with.
Yeah.
That's the American way. So
Yeah. We just
the way, like the Mandalorian.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't know what a Mandalorian is.
You don't know? Oh my god, that's like, what is it called? Cultura general. Like, I don't know.
My sister says, Larissa, the French are pretty mean. And Japanese people are very good.
Well, it depends. Because, so if you go to the south of France, I've known people from like the north of France saying that the south of France is like bougie and like, and they are. I mean, they have like, it was insane. I remember I went to Cannes.
Yeah.
And there was like princes driving down the Broadwalk, and it's like princes from Saudi Arabia, so they're bougie. And then from the capital, but there's a lot of that in Mexico City and in New York. Like they're just rude.
Just like people who have a lot of money.
Yes, but I have really good friends from France, and they're nice.
There's nice people.
Yes,
you can find nice people. It just
you can like that's what I was saying. Like you can find nice people everywhere and mean people everywhere. Yeah. It's like it's not. There's no like an exact way. Like it's not one size fits all. Okay. So, but my point is that like I need to say this. I have my friend Alex. Like he's like a really good friend, and he likes corridos. You know
corridos.
Yeah, that's a type of music in Mexico. So he likes like he's like a more Mexican than I am.
So he has more of the
yes.
He's more into the culture than you are, but he's French.
Yes, and he's teaching French, but he doesn't want to teach French, but they're asking him to. But he teaches math in Nuevo Laredo, my hometown.
Okay, he teaches math. Okay.
So yeah, I'm sorry that you have had bad experiences with the French, but there's some nice ones there.
Yeah, and it could just be. It's totally different too. Like the French could be annoyed with the Americans because I know we were feuding for a little bit. Like just culturally. Yeah. Because I remember when they changed like French fries to a freedom fries. Do you remember that? No. You don't remember that?
I never because they don't even they call it frit. Like Frite.
Fritz.
Yes.
Fritz.
So they're not even called like why are they called French fries? I don't know.
Because they're French. They're obviously French. Okay. Anyways, let's see. Let's go on to the next topic. Unless you if you could just say one thing related to travel, like one message you want to get out there regarding travel, what would
travel as much as you can, as far as you can. Even if, you can start by little because if you want to travel, you need to look at your priorities because I have friends that they're like, yes, I want to travel, but then I don't have any money. I can't travel. I don't have any money. But then they're always buying like chotskis. Yes, like little things, or like a lot of nail polishes, or like a lot of makeup. Makeup is expensive. Oh my gosh, I prefer to travel than to buy makeup. As you can see. Yes, travel as much as you can. It doesn't have to go to the other side of the world. Like just go to like 2 hours away from here or
somewhere different.
Yes, because I can tell you, like I traveled during, I don't know, when was it? I went to Colorado and I drove there, and I drove by Post, Texas. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was a shock. They were having a rodeo in the middle of the pandemic, and nobody was wearing a mask. And it's like you can learn even in Texas. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's interesting. It kind of reminds me of like I don't know why, like different universes or different like planets.
You don't even have to go to a different planet. Like 2 hours away from
like
here,
it's a different
culture.
It's like the shows where they have different planets. Like, oh, this is the universe where they do this thing.
Imagine the bureaucracy we had, like different planets to deal with.
Yeah, well, it's coming.
Well, that's another.
Get ready.
That's another topic.
Get ready. It says resumen. I don't know what that
means. Resumen. Rigoberto. He wants a summary of what we've been talking.
Okay.
That's what happens to people that is late. No resumen.
No resumen, but you can show it. We've been talking about travel, and anything else you want to say about travel? Any souvenirs or anything you want to show?
Oh wow, I can show you my whole apartment. So Turkey, I can show you this. So this, if you can see, has like a tiny little hole. Yeah. And so this is I think when soldiers in Turkey, it's like you must go to the military training. Like you have to have 1 year of military training because you know how Turkey is like always in conflict.
Oh, it's kind of like
so like Istanbul, it was Constantinople, and like before it was something else, and before it was anyways. So the point is that like they're soldiers, right? They have to be soldiers, and so when they get married and they go to their military service, they give this to their wives.
Okay.
So their wives, every time they're sad, they would have to collect their tears.
Oh, really?
I know, right? That's why I bought it. I was like, this is ridiculous, but it's so cool.
Yeah.
So the wives, if they were not sad, if they had a Sancho or something, they would just put water with salt. Imagine that.
That's messed up.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of little things.
Okay.
I got this little frame and I put my daddy there. So it's made of concha nácar.
Concha nácar?
Nácar.
Concha nácar.
It's like a shell.
It's like a shell. I knew that.
You
I
did?
didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nacre, because
You're
it's
not
like
that white.
I'm not that white. Say it right.
White. So I have a bunch of little things. This is a.
This?
Yes, it's a huichol. It's arte huichol.
It's art
from Jalisco, but I bought it in.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
It's really
beads. Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
This one I got in. Where did I get this? Oh, it's a flute. Look, I got it in Teotihuacan. Do you know how to play the flute?
No, I do not.
This is the goddess of love.
Nice.
It's broken. This is not too jam to.
I'm jamming to it.
Okay,
It's good.
I'm sorry for
That's done. No.
Yeah.
That French song.
Yeah, it is. It's La Vida es Rosa. Sí.
La Vida es. Yeah.
The Edith Piaf.
Edith Piaf.
Yes. So you wanted to talk about languages?
Yes. Rigo says sorry I'm late. It's okay.
You're welcome, Rigo. You're always bienvenido.
Very cool. Very cool. And okay, so I think we've covered a lot on traveling. I think we've gotten it. So real quick, I want to just talk about. I want to respect your time.
Yes, and yours.
And my time. And learning. I want to talk about learning languages because you teach a lot of languages.
No, well, just two.
You teach languages, and you like learning languages.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Well,
it's because the thing is, like, I love teaching.
Yeah.
And since I'm like a teacher and a partner, in a language.
Yeah, you're a partner
business.
at Idiomasters, where you guys are language professionals.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do translations and we teach languages.
Yeah.
But I only teach Spanish and English, and only basic English.
Yeah.
We have Benjamin. He teaches the higher levels, advanced. And so yeah, I got into language teaching because I'm a bilingual person. So I cannot say that I dominated, but I know because I lived it. I know how to, and I love teaching. I have always loved teaching, and I think that's my vocación.
Vocación. Your calling. It's your
yes,
calling.
There you go.
I know.
Yes,
see, I know
English
Spanish.
leaves
And
me
I am
sometimes.
Hispanic.
Yeah. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Messed up. Okay.
Yes. So I teach languages.
Yeah. And so, okay, so why do you like teaching?
I don't know. It's like I love to, like, I cannot tell you exactly why, but I love teaching children.
Mm-hmm.
I can teach grown-ups, adults, but I prefer teaching children. It's just so like satisfactory, I think.
Satisfactory?
Yeah. Satisfactory there.
Yes.
I don't know. I just love it. It's like since I was little, I would play with my cousins or friends, like that we were teaching, and I love grading. But then I got to grade actually work, and it's like so much work. But I don't know. It's just seeing when it clicks in the head of someone, like, oh, this is how you do it. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Or like to seeing someone like actually like speaking
Mhm.
in English when they think, because we had students that are like, yeah, I've been here since like, I don't know, for 3 years and I haven't speak English in English. And I was like, you're talking English. What
Yeah.
are you saying? So like a lot of people think that they don't know English or the language because they are not able to speak it. But for example, me, I've been learning English since I can remember. Like my mom put me in like English camp, and believe me, it's not fun.
English camp was no fun. It doesn't sound fun.
No.
Any camp.
Like because well, that's true. But if you're doing something like Lego camp, that sounds fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like cooking camp.
Culinary camp.
There you
That would
go.
be dope.
I'll be eating all the time.
Just you guys cook, I'll just eat it.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. But one of my partners, Carlos Iruegas, like he makes learning so much fun.
Yeah.
Like he even like he cooks, like he gives you movies about it. It's like it's amazing. But so yeah, I got into teaching since I can remember. Like my dad has a cassette of me that I gave my mom when I was in kindergarten, and the teacher was like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "I want to be a teacher. I want to have a kindergarten, but behind my house." And my aunt she stole that idea from me. I'm kidding. But she has a kindergarten behind my parents' house.
Oh, really? That's really cool, though. And that's your idea, though.
Well, I don't know if she knew.
You inspired it.
I hope she has been a teacher, so
yeah. I don't know. You might have inspired. Who knows?
Maybe.
I think it's interesting. Shout out to Carlos. I've seen him teach. He's really good at teaching.
And that's true. He taught you a Spanish class. Yeah.
Spanish, and he's engaging. He makes it really interesting. Yeah. I noticed he does food.
Yeah.
Movies.
Yes. So, for example, let me tell you an example.
Yeah.
He had a French class because I'm gonna give prize to my partner Carlos. He speaks French, Japanese. He understands Italian. I think. Do you speak Chinese? I don't know. I think.
Ni hao?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
French, Spanish, English, Japanese, a little bit of Chinese, and a little bit of Italian. So,
yeah, that's great.
Impressive. And then he's like super good at teaching, like amazing.
Yeah.
He so for example, this class he had a French class, and they were doing, I don't remember, but he put on the Aristocats.
Yes.
And then he was doing crepes. So, and then for an English class, crepes. Anyway, so, and then for a English class, Ben is going to kill me if I don't remember. What is the name of that? Mardi Gras. So it was like Mardi Gras time. So he put on The Princess and the Frog.
Okay. And
gave away like typical food from Louisiana.
Yeah. So. And the reason I like that is because you're learning from like different senses. You're learning from like tasting,
exactly,
smelling the food, things like that.
Yes, and that's what makes it like best, because like everybody learns differently.
Yeah. So
some people learn visually, some people learn like with their hearing, some people learn with their hands.
Yeah.
And that's when you're little, they give you like a lot of different things because we're still trying to figure out how to learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to someone who wants to choose a language to learn?
It just depends. Like, for example, if you want to travel, like learn things about where you're going, like about the food, like, and you need to learn the names of the food like correctly, because then you go there and you say something completely different. And some languages like Japanese, like Asian languages, like if you intonate different, it means a completely different thing.
Or give me something like really offensive.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So so if you're gonna travel, for sure, try to learn something. Like, for example, in Idiomasters, we can give you like a quick
refresher. Would that be? No.
Well, refresher is if you already know it.
Yeah.
But like a quick like vocabulary or something like before you go abroad. Yeah. We had a client there. She was going for a semester, I think, to China, and she did private lessons for Mandarin. Yeah. So,
very cool.
So it's if you travel, Or if you're dating someone from another language, that's a really good motivation to learn the language.
Learn it, yeah.
Yes.
Or maybe not learn it, so you don't know.
Yeah. But I think it would motivate you more.
Yeah. Very cool. And let's see what else we got on languages. If we have any questions. No questions.
Yeah. So I don't know. Languages is very interesting because I don't know. Like it also changes your perspective on things.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
In what way? Like, how has that played out in your life?
I don't know. Well, it makes you like more like you have to think in two languages.
Okay.
And then sometimes I don't know the word, right? And I was like, how do you say Riviera Maya? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But so it just changes. I was doing a project where it talks about bilingual and multilingual people.
Mm-hmm.
And it just says like how you transfer from one language to another.
Yeah.
And how that makes you, like, your mind is constantly working.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps you a lot with, for example, my family has history of, it's not Parkinson's. What is it? The one where you forget?
Dementia?
No, it's not dementia.
Alzheimer's?
Yes, there you go. So if your mind is constantly working, it's gonna get harder, or it's gonna like if you do actually have that gene, like it's gonna help you prevent it to come earlier.
Yeah, to push it away.
Yes. So learning a language helps you in so many ways.
It helps with that too?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. And okay, just those connections, and it kind of, I guess it opens up your mind, like just like traveling in a way, because you're like thinking in different languages. Yeah,
and I think for me they're connected. Like I remember with my friends, my friends they spoke French, and they would say something, they would just add an E or an A in the French word in Spanish, and because a lot of like they're Romance languages, so they come from Latin.
Yeah.
So they have the same root. Mm-hmm. So some words you can just add a letter and it's the same, like problem, problema.
Yeah.
But I would make fun of him, or I would think it was like really cute and laugh out loud. But I learned through the years that that's gonna discourage someone from speaking. Yeah. But then it happened to me, because even though I've been learning English my whole life, I didn't start speaking it until I came to San Antonio.
Yeah.
I remember being in a class, and I was with my friend, and she was speaking to me in English, and I could speak to her in English, but this one time it was a Monday.
Yeah.
And I just came back from Nuevo Laredo, and I knew what I wanted to say, and it was in the tip of my tongue, and I could not say it. Yeah. I just couldn't speak English. It was so weird, and it's like till this day, it's like, why my brain is doing this to me? Yeah. But it's just like hard. Like, just because you are not able to speak it doesn't mean that you don't know it. Yeah. Like, you know a lot of Spanish.
Yeah, I know a lot of Spanish, but it's hard for me to put together like a big paragraph of Spanish.
You have to practice it. That's another key to learn the language. You have to be surrounded by it and practice.
Definitely be surrounded too, because I remember when I visited Mexico, like I picked it up. You pick it up real quick when you're around it all the time.
Yes, and then San Antonio, you can pick it up, but it's Tex-Mex, just like the food.
When I was this was way in the past life when I was in Mexico. We would drink. I don't drink anymore. We would drink tequila. And I would joke like act all macho, and I would say it's mas agua. I would call it agua.
Oh my god, tequila! It's scary.
They were crazy too. They would party like.
Oh, Mexicans, yeah. I remember I met some friends from Cuernavaca. Yeah. And I would stop drinking, and they were like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I just want to go home." No, we're still partying like at 3 a.m. It's like, no, I want to go home. Yes.
Yeah. That's funny. Anything else on, like, one thing I've heard about languages is like people will be like, do you dream in different languages? Do you dream sometimes in English and sometimes in Spanish?
Yes. When you start dreaming in the other language, it's like I don't completely dominate either or, because I get really stuck on either or. But if you dream in English, that's a huge advance. Like, it's like you're getting to dominate that language.
That's like a milestone. If you dream in that language. So I'm learning French, and I'm like dreaming like
Appetit.
Yes,
Yes, something
then that
like
means
that.
like, yeah, I'm there.
Yes, you're there. You can date a French woman and fight with her, argue with her in French.
Show me a pillow.
Something like that.
I'm just kidding. If you're French, I'm just joking. It's a beautiful language. I love
it.
French.
I love French accents. French. I don't know if I like the food though.
You don't like the food?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's hard. Like the bread and.
I know you love food, so I have to ask something regarding food.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food that you've ever eaten? Traveling or just in
Oh
America?
my god! In Thailand, I ate this. I don't even remember. It's like it was a green waffle, but it had corn and something sweet.
A green
and it was
waffle?
delicious. Yes.
Yeah.
I at that, and then oh my god! In San Antonio, have you ever? Oh, I think you've been to French Sandwiches.
I've been there. Yeah.
I love that place.
Yeah.
So, but that's like a Vietnamese family.
Yeah.
Owning a French restaurant. So it's like a really cool mix.
And how did that come to be with because the French and the Vietnamese?
Well, the French, I guess it was the British and then the Spaniards were there conquering all over the world, and then the French. So those three big
Conquistadores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess there was like a colony or something in Vietnam from the French. So I think that's the fusion, I guess, because the banh mi, it's one of the like the big, some French bread, and it's like it has all this garments or whatever you want to call it, like cilantro and
Garnishments.
Yeah, they are from Southeast Asia.
That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
So shout out to French sandwiches in San Antonio.
Yes.
I might put in the description. I might forget. We'll see.
Somewhere there.
I might put it in there. I'll definitely put Idiomasters in the
Right.
description. And down there. Yeah. And
No, I'm kidding.
and let's see. Anything else you want to say regarding languages?
Languages. Learn a language, because just like traveling, I think it helps your brain. It helps you open your mind. It helps you think in another language. Like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I started learning French, but then I just gave up. I'm not surrounded by it, so it's like harder when you're not practicing it. My friend Alex, the one that I was telling you about, that he's Mexican. He lives in Mexico. He married a Mexican. He said that he went back to France with his family, and he was like struggling to speak French, and that's his native language. So yes, it is. It's like
It seems like he really is drawn to the Mexican culture.
yes, yeah. It's a really cool story because he grew up in France, and his best friend too.
Yeah.
But his best friend lives in Hong Kong, and he married. Where are they? In Hong Kong.
Chinese?
Are they Chinese?
Are they typically
I guess.
controlled by China?
Isn't like their own? I don't know. I'll do my research.
Do my research. We're gonna have a disclaimer at the bottom, like Hong Kong is
We don't know
officially owned by China.
what it is. Is it?
I don't know. Someone Google that for us. I don't know. We're millennials.
Aren't you a boomer?
I'm just an honorary boomer.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And I always like to ask this question at the end, and it doesn't have to be regarding travel. It doesn't have to be regarding languages. Just in general, like from your entire life. If you could just say like one message to the audience, what would that message be?
Oh my God, this quote that I love. It's let me see if I remember it in Spanish so I can translate it to English.
Okay. You can say it in both.
El verdadero viaje de descubrimiento no consiste en cambiar de paisaje, sino en cambiar los ojos con que lo ves. Okay, so yes, I read this quote a long time ago. So it means like the true, oh my God, it's so hard to translate.
Yeah.
So it's not hard.
We could try to put it in the chat. Let me see.
No.
Okay.
It's okay. So the better than tacos? No. The true trip, if you want to say trip, like the true
Journey?
yes, thank you, the true journey of discovery, or like to discover yourself, it doesn't consist in to change the scenery. It consists in changing the eyes that you look with.
Okay, say that again. That sounds, I like it. Say it again though.
Maybe we can put it somewhere.
In the chat. Okay, wait, let's put it in the chat.
Okay, put it in Spanish. I'll type it.
Okay.
El verdadero. Ya quedé con. Oh my gosh.
So the true journey of discovery doesn't start with changing the scenery, but
This has typos. Can we do this later? I'm like struggling to get this stuff.
I didn't know you couldn't type. I thought you were a millennial.
Oh my god, I can, but it's like uncomfortable.
And okay, but I like it. Can you just say it one more time? Because I know you just said it. It was the discovery of.
In English?
The journey of discovering who you are. Right?
It doesn't mention who you are, but yes, the true journey of this, the true discovery journey, or there's a better word for discovery. The true journey of
enlightenment.
I guess yes.
Okay.
It doesn't consist in changing the scenery. It consists in changing the way you look at things, or changing the eyes you look with.
Okay, I like that a lot.
I'll give you a better translation.
Anything you want to promote or any social?
Google.
Just Google Translate it.
I just made it.
It'll be all twisted up on Google Translate. Finally, anything you want to promote, anything like social media you want to shout out or anything like that?
Just Idiomasters.
Idiomasters?
Yes.
And I'll put them in the description, I promise.
Yes. Idiomasters, we do translations, we do creative writing. So if for the holidays you need a present, an original present,
yeah.
Master Benjamin Durosher, he could like write a story, a short novel or a short story for you with your own characters and stuff. So yeah. Or you can give a quick private lessons for language, or I don't know, something like that.
Very cool. Awesome. And this has been an amazing interview. Thank you so much, Karla.
I had so much fun.
It was fun, right? I love live streaming. It's like my new hobby. It's a lot of fun. Be sure to like and subscribe. I have more great interviews coming, a lot of topics on like mindset, how to be successful, and just exploring, like expanding your mind. That's what we were talking about today, kind of expanding your horizons. So like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Don't tread them.
Yeah.
Just encourage them. See the teacher in me.
Or else.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
Mr. Fidel.
I'll come for you. Just kidding. Just, if you want to, like and subscribe, because we create great content and might do more stuff with Karla in the future too. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Adios.
Yes, click. Yes, there.